Recognize this building? Well, you should. It's very important in the age of coronavirus. I'll give you a hint. It's a place where people lose some and win some.
It hit $300-400 at one point, and we're all crossing our fingers. Everyone was holding on to diamond hands. You know, that was the term.
Well, it seems like Wall Street was learning the opposite.
I totally agree. I think we just scratched the surface on something. I don't think it's far from over. I don't think Wall Street Bets is going anywhere.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Age of Coronavirus. I'm your host, Chase Kurtz, and this is GameStop Won't Stop. Last season, we had our fill of stimulus packages and vaccines and what have you. But in the year 2021, it's all about holding the line for GME. Diamond hands! Just last week, Redditors from Wall Street Bets managed to drive the stock 20 times higher than its initial high of last year, putting it over $500. It's down right now, but not out for the count. And with us today to discuss it is Allen Liang, local gamer in Brooklyn, New York, who has his own positions in GME, or has he? Allen, tell us where you're at right now.
As of this morning, I did sell out of GME because it's hitting an all-time low right now. It's floating right around like $90-ish, and I did buy in around 120. So I didn't want to take too much of a loss, but I tell you, the gains are real.
Well, tell us about the gains. Where did you buy in?
So initially, it started at $40 and it went up to 70, 100, and everyone I knew was like, "Nah, this guy's not gonna make it." It's definitely gonna go back down on the Monday. Come Monday, it's up $100, $200, $300. So of course, all of us were like, "All right, let's get in on this. We'll wait for the dip." $120. I probably did around like 20-ish shares.
Wow.
And then from it at $120, it was there for about 6 seconds and straight up. I think it hit $300-400 at one point, and we're all crossing our fingers. Everyone was holding on to diamond hands. That was the term. But
at this point, do you expect that squeeze to happen?
Right now, before I did, everyone was on board, and what happened was all these companies, they like Robinhood, they started limiting your buying power, like TD Bank, Fidelity. They all limited the amount you could buy. I mean, people on Robinhood they were only able to buy one share a day. That's what, and I think that's what drove these prices down. And I think it could have made it, but right now everyone's got restrictions on buying, and that made me lose confidence, and I think it made a lot of people lose confidence as well. As you can see, the price is at $90 right now from $400 just earlier this week.
Yeah, that's the short ladder attack that's going on.
Yeah, and
supposedly
we all tried, but I think they're not on our side,
Is there anybody that could be on our side? I know Mark Cuban was talking in the AMA, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are still holding on, but me as a, I'm just a small time guy. I don't got hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest in in something that I might lose. But hey, if you can hold on, I think you should. But I just couldn't do it.
How familiar are you with Wall Street Bets? Are you a member of that forum?
No, I'm not. Wall Street Bets was a new thing to me. They blew up overnight. It was actually a pretty small group, and then they gained a lot of traction just in 2 days, and suddenly everyone's on there. And I got to say, I did jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, a lot of us have. I think it was like 3 or 4 million members at this point on Wall Street Bets. I can't quite keep up with it. It just keeps.
I mean, last
growing.
I saw it was in the millions, yeah, but it didn't start that way. I tell you that. I think 2 weeks ago it was probably in the thousands.
Well, I did overhear that the guy that, what was his name, Deep Effing Value, he had not sold anything just yet. He's still holding on.
I did read a few different articles. One of them said he sold a little bit and like donated money to children's hospitals and just good
Right.
deeds here and there. But from what I read, he's holding on to almost all he's got.
And that's unbelievable. I mean, at one point he was making, I think, $33 million.
Yeah, I do have personal friends who have invested a few $100,000 into it, and they are holding on as well.
Are your friends losing a lot at this point, or?
Right now, they're maybe a little bit of a loss, but because we all did jump in at really the same time around the 100 area, and then they bought on the dip, and then yeah.
What day was it that you started sharing?
I jumped in Wednesday, January 27th,
which was last week.
Yeah, right during the dip.
Just before, yeah. Just before.
Yeah, and then like I said, that Thursday was looking really nice. that morning I woke up, we saw that $480, almost 500, and everyone's excited. It dipped, dropped back the same day, dropped back, but we're all confident. And that day, that was when I added their 5-6 shares, because whatever money I had, I sold off some other stuff, added a few more shares, and yeah, and it was doing good.
I know that GME and AMC are kind of at the same level at times. They're almost mimicking each other. Are you also in AMC?
I am in AMC right now, actually. I think it's a lot of people did jump over AMC just because GameStop has been seeing a little bit of GameStop. It's been seeing a little bit of a slow side now.
It's getting a little jaded.
Jumping towards AMC now.
Yeah. AMC is definitely seeing a little bit more of a push.
Yeah. Right now, the group, because I am in a few different investing groups, and right now everyone is jumping on AMC. Yeah, we bought in around $7, and that one I'm probably gonna hold on to.
When did you start investing?
This is pretty new to me. I mean, during this whole COVID area, everyone was like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should start investing in some stuff, because I mean, after a big stock market crash, it's usually the best time to invest. We saw this maybe a little over 10 years ago, 2008, during the recession, and back then, I was I was around 18, 19, so I didn't have too much money to throw into things, but I saw the market, and when the stock market takes a big dip like that, the only way to go is up. Those companies getting bailouts, and there's all this stimulus money going around. A lot of things recovered fast, and that was a good way to make money. So yeah, I started around last year, June, July. Just because that was when that was the first when everyone was getting $600 a week for and
oh yeah, the unemployment,
yeah, and then
yeah, it was a good opportunity.
Yeah, and it was ending soon, so I was like, I don't know what to do, because I I got furloughed, I got nothing to do. So I was like, all right, I don't know what to do for money. So that's when I started investing.
What were you doing, Alan?
I was working network security.
Mhm.
But it started work from home, and then after that, I got furloughed, and it sucked, but I understood why. It wasn't just me in trouble; everyone else is in trouble too.
Are you still unemployed?
Right now, yeah. I mean, I'm actually basically living off trading.
Wow.
I try not to be too greedy, and just make enough for what I need, and because I do see a lot of guys, they go all in on this, and then they lose hard.
What would be a situation other than GameStop where somebody would just kind of go all in?
I'm not an expert. I mean, I just do this to get by, but so I just want to let you know that. But the biggest mistakes that I personally made is not selling when there are profits to be made. Sometimes I get a little too greedy. I think it's gonna go up more. But because plenty of times have I see, I see the numbers go up, but they'd also come back down the next day.
Oh yeah, I've been there too.
Yeah,
I've been there too.
I'm holding on because I know the company's gonna make it, but you got to sell when there's profits to be made.
Yeah, and you get into a position sometimes where the only reason why you're holding on is because you've also noticed when you let go of it, it kept rising.
Yeah, see,
so it's just there's just no way to know sometimes.
I mean, you can't live with regret. That's what it is. I mean, I was discouraged at first. I lost a little bit of money, and then not even lost money. I made money, and I still had regrets. I was like, oh, I made less than I could have. But if you look at it that way, that's it's too late. It happened. Let's move on.
There's going to be more stimulus checks, and I don't see an end in sight. In my eyes, I think a lot of people are going to be putting that money in.
I think so too, because there's unemployment rate is up. There's no way to make money, and this is how they're going to do it. I mean, I know if my stimulus check comes in, that's exactly where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't. No one's can live on this. $600 here, $300 there. It's not going to help. I mean, it only does so much. You live in New York City. My rent is over $1,000. Yeah, but so what? So what is everyone going to do? No jobs, no money. I mean, the stock market's the only place to make it, right? Yeah. Like the hedge fund guys are losing money, and the SEC is investigating. Like, what is there to investigate? I mean, everything we've done has been legal. People buying stocks and holding on to them. That's not illegal.
Well, it's a situation where it's all a big club.
Yeah,
and you're not in
exactly.
it.
We're none of us are in it, right? But because I heard these crazy stories. Like, it's not confirmed, but I did see screenshots of let's say people using Robinhood who got their shares of GameStop automatically sold.
Tell me your history with GameStop. Have you regularly bought things there in the past?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, especially living where I live in Brooklyn, there's GameStop 20 minutes away from my house. That's where I would go for all my stuff. And I mean, yeah, I know a lot of games are digital now, but I love the physical copy sometimes.
I think there's a little bit of a nostalgia to keep GameStop around.
I mean, I do want it around. I mean, because like I said, I mean, I go there all the time. Even if I'm just in the neighborhood, I'm not looking for a new game. I'm in there looking at what's coming out, what they have. And I mean, it's in this day and age. I mean, everything costs the same, right? Like, it's not like you're getting ripped off at GameStop. They're charging the same as Amazon. They're just charging the same as Walmart. So why would I give my money to one of those bigger guys when I got my local store right here?
We're talking with Ryan Rosbiani. He has a Twitter account that's Wall Street based with stock traders, about 5,000 Twitter followers on that account. And he's here to offer his perspective on the GME short shakedown that we got going on here. How you doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. Honored to be here.
Tell us a little bit more about your Twitter account.
Sure thing. So back in March, I was able to start working from home. So I was able to focus a little bit more on trading closer to full time with what I was doing. I saw a lot of great people that were popping up on Twitter that were posting their ideas and thoughts. I was following them, learning from them. Of course, you can never stop learning about the stock market. Around I want to say July, I started becoming more and more active there and talking to more people, putting out my ideas, and the Twitter account just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Last month, we had the biggest amount of growth, over 2,500 followers just jumped on board. And I've just been growing it there. I think as of today, it's 5,400 followers, which blows my mind that this many people are actually following me and listening to me. My main goal with that was I knew there's a lot of new traders that came on board, especially with the stimulus checks. And I wanted to be able to provide them with guidance. I'm not a financial advisor, but there's always questions you can help people answer. What's RSI? What's MACD? What do I do with this stock? What's going on here? So I want to be able to provide them with as much help as I could, because I know when I started, the only resource we had for stocks was YouTube and Reddit. Twitter hadn't popped off as big as it had right now for financial advising and kind of financial help with stocks. So I wanted to be able to be a beacon for especially new traders to be able to come in. And I was lucky enough, I've been connected with a lot of the biggest traders in the Twitter universe. And I've been talking to them and working with them and learning from them, and hopefully being able to provide the community with some stock picks. And we've had some really great stock picks in the past few months that have helped myself make a lot of money and a lot of other traders make a lot of money, because essentially it's become this nice big brain hive where people throw out ideas, we learn from each other, and then ultimately people execute based off their own plan.
Where are you on the GME train right now?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to jump in with GME. With the amount of capital that was needed for me to be able to provide impactful help. But I was able to jump into AMC when we were between $7 and $8. I jumped in there and I kind of held it. I'll be honest, I did lose some money on that, but it was when I jumped in because I wanted to be able to help and be a part of the cause and be able to kind of help provide some form of wall. And I opened my Twitter DMs for the first time. I said, hey, if anyone's in GME or AMC or Nokia or anything who has any questions and is worried and doesn't want to publicly ask, because there was a lot of people that were being attacked if they asked the wrong question, I said, hey, you can reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help. It was flooded with a lot of DMs, so it's helping a lot of people navigate those waters. And even still to this day, I've got a few people that I talk to about everything going on, especially with AMC, because people haven't lost hope there. But the GameStop thing was very powerful.
Yeah, it seems to be floating around the 40, 50-ish range at the moment.
So right now, it's sort of stabilizing. It's dropped, unfortunately, with what happened with Robinhood and Webull and TD Ameritrade when they stopped the trading. It hurt the traders because you no longer could buy, and that means you're cutting the legs out of the stock, aka no volume input. And with every stock, whether it's a short squeeze or a regular daily stock, you need volume for it to go up. So I see the restrictions are lifted, but it looks like the spirits were kind of broken because there was people buying this stock up in the 400s, 500s, 300s in pre-market. If you bought through like Webull or TD at 4 a.m., there was times where this stock crossed over like $450 and people were still buying it. It looks like the will has been shaken a bit, but I do see there's still whispers and people still holding and people still going through it. I know the very big person that was out there, Big F Value, he stopped posting about this because he was providing daily updates. He was like the cheerleader for this event, but he stopped posting. I'm not sure if that was a legal reason or what happened there, but with these movements, when the leader essentially, where it was BFV, who was the big leader for this, is gone, it makes it a little harder for them to have a beacon to go back to and learn from. But I don't know. I'd like to see the stock go back up just for the cause, essentially. The short numbers, I check them daily. It came down from 140% to 120 last I checked. I don't think the short sellers have let go of this yet. So I think we'll just have to wait and see. You never know with these things. You can have a comeback where tomorrow morning we wake up and the stock is $300 again, or unfortunately goes back down to the single digits. It's a risky play. And if you're in this, I think everyone who got in this for the cause, not to essentially make money, or they would have sold when we were in the 400s.
Yeah, I got in a little too late, and unfortunately I had to sell. I ended up getting paper hands.
Oh, right. And that makes sense. Look, if the average retail investor isn't a millionaire or has hundreds of thousands of dollars in the market and wanted to be a part of this, it makes complete sense to have sold when you did, or when you can, or when you could, when you should have, essentially. Because look, if you're down 50, 60% and that's money that you needed and you probably shouldn't have put in, and you were trading on emotions, which you really should never trade on emotions, I completely get it. And there's really no shame in selling the stock there, because you have to protect yourself and your capital at the end of the day. These Wall Street bet folks aren't going to come and pay your rent that you were using that money for to trade GameStop. So if you have to sell, in my opinion, and this is what I was telling people in the DMs, they were all scared. They're like, I can't talk about this publicly. What do I do? I said, look, if this is capital you need and you're not playing it like an options trade where you're ready for it to go to zero and you'd be completely fine, there's nothing wrong with selling. The cause is powerful. There's people out there with millions of dollars. And I know Dave Portnoy put in, I think, $2 million into AMC, NOC, and GameStop across the board. And he sold eventually. And after he lost $700,000, I know if I lost $700,000, I don't think to this day I would have been able to go to bed.
A lot of people in Wall Street kind of talk about trading as if it's not gambling.
There's multiple sides to trading, right? You've got the straight common stock where you trade, you've got options trading, and then you've got short selling, right? So short selling and options trading to me are more closer to gambling than anything, because you're betting essentially on the stock going down. Calls and puts, you're betting on the stock going up and down. Versus common shares, you have a lot of indicators. You can use the same indicators, of course, for options trading and short selling, but for like common shares, I don't really consider it gambling, because you can use indicators to adjust it. You can mitigate your losses. You can figure out when to enter. It's completely up to you. Versus if you and I sat down at the blackjack table and played a round of blackjack, it's completely up to the cards and up to chance, up to what we draw and what we pulled and come out. Versus with stocks, where there's so many tools and indicators we can use to kind of get cheat codes in the game and figure out where it could go next.
All right. Well, it seems like Wall Street was learning the opposite, telling people that who were just doing regular trading, and some people were doing options, but people who were just trying to do regular trading and getting limited about how much money they could trade with Robinhood, and that drives the price down, which makes them lose money. And so they're trying to regulate that when they're not even looking at the shorts.
Last I read, naked shorts, which is shorting over 100%, was illegal. GameStop at a certain point was being shorted 140%, which like I've seen so many people on YouTube try to explain it, and I can wrap my head around it a little bit, but even to this point, it still seems very sketchy as to how everyone focused on, hey, why are these band of folks that are going out there through Wall Street bets trying to save GameStop, where they should have really been focusing on why are these short sellers doing this, and where's the legality behind this? And that's the one thing that a lot of folks didn't talk about is the legality behind naked short selling, which is over 100% shorting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really bothered me was why not take the side of the retail investors for once? Just for the big mass medias that were talking about it, bringing people on. I know we had folks like Chamath, Benzinga, Dave Portnoy, you folks that were kind of defending the retail traders and coming out there and speaking for us. But I was really looking for some more big names to come out and talk about this because, like, famously, we all know the story of Bill Ackman, who shorted the stock market during the beginning of the COVID outbreak, and he went on CNBC and started ranting about how everything is going to come crashing down. And then he made billions of dollars because the exact thing happened because he was shorting it. So how is that legal versus where the legality of a few folks on Wall Street bets talking about, hey, GameStop's being shorted, I'm going to buy some shares. What do you think? Do you want to buy some shares too? And maybe we can kind of help save GameStop.
Do you think the SEC will end up siding with the retail market?
So I think the SEC should come out and say, hey, I don't think it's illegal. Personally, from all the reading that I've done, all the research I've done, it shouldn't be illegal with what happened on Wall Street bets. But I think the SEC will either have to completely ignore what happened here and let it brush off and stick with the retail investors, or if they side with the suits, I really hope they have a really good explanation because they should be here to protect the little guys, not the big suits. Like when they go after these big hedge funds and stuff like that who are doing illegal stuff, that makes sense. But if you start going after the little investor who's got like $1,500 in the market and decided to buy 5 shares of GameStop, that'll discourage generations of investors to come, and people will just move into crypto, as you saw they did when GameStop got locked up. Everyone started buying Dogecoin, and that ran up to 8 cents. So the retail investors will find a way to kind of band together and make money. I think the SEC should really maneuver this with a very, very sharp knife and pay very close attention because the repercussions could be wild. And I love seeing all these new investors, and I would hate to see them get discouraged from investing after such a powerful movement.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for getting on board and discussing this subject with us, because I feel like more people need to be aware of it. More people need to understand it.
I totally agree. I think we just scratched the surface on something. I don't think it's far from over. I don't think Wall Street Bets is going anywhere. I know the FinTwit universe, the financial Twitter universe, isn't going anywhere. It's literally getting bigger and bigger by the day. To me, as an investor, as a retail trader, this is beautiful because I love when people are taking their financial future into their own hands. There's so many new retail traders that I'm working with through the program that I'm running, and who are literally changing their lives and like making money independently, and are like, hey, we had no clue we could do this on the stock market. We thought that this was built just for the suits. But there's always a way to maneuver it and learn how to do it legally, of course. Just find the right stocks, play those stocks, manage your risk, learn a little bit about the market, and you could do just fine. And it's a beautiful and powerful thing that you can do as any person who has access to the stock market with a little bit of money. I know when I started, I literally started with like 20, 30 bucks, and then you start somewhere, you grow and you build onto it. But it was sad to see it rigged by the suits, literally. And I do hope that there's someone comes out and talks about it. We saw some people within the government come out and talk about it. We saw AOC, Ted Cruz, who were literally saying that this is rigged and wrong. So maybe we have people in the government who can help us with this, but nowadays, who knows?